Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this video we will discuss the site of photosynthesis. As we know that photosynthesis takes place in green parts of the plants that can be leaves or herbaceous systems. So we take it from the bigger structure that can be a leaf. So this is a leaf. Inside of a leaf we can find different types of cells. At the upper side we can find the upper epidermis, and at the lower side we can find the lower epidermis, which contains stomata. This is the lower epidermis. These are the stomata. These are the cells which are present in the lower epidermis. Between the upper and lower epidermis we can find two types of parenchymatous cells. So near the upper epidermis we can find these elongated cells. These are parenchymatous cells. These cells are known as palisade parenchyma. These are palisade parenchyma. Palisade parenchyma. And the cells which are present near the lower epidermis, these are spherical cells. They are also parenchymatous cells, but they are different in their structures. They are known as spongy parenchyma. Spongy parenchyma. The palisade and spongy parenchymatous cells combinedly known as mesophyll tissue. Mesophyll tissue. Meso means between and phill means leaves. The cells which are present between the leaves, they are actually composed of palisade and parenchymatous cells. In between we can find the vascular bundles. Vascular bundles. Photosynthesis takes place in mesophyll tissue, which contains palisade and parenchymatous cells. So now we take one cell from mesophyll tissue. We take one cell from mesophyll tissue. Suppose this is a parenchymatous cells which contains a big vacuole, small nucleus, and a double membranous structure which is known as chloroplast, which is responsible for photosynthesis. So this is a nucleus. This is a large vacuole, and the main structure we will talk further, that is a chloroplast. Chloroplast. This is the organelle which is responsible for photosynthesis. So now we take a bigger structure of chloroplast and discuss in detail about it. So this is a double membranous structure. This ground portion is known as stroma, which contains different types of enzymes which are responsible for dark reaction of photosynthesis. So the stroma contains sac-like structures which are packed with each other. So these are sac-like structures. They are packed with each other, and the sac-like structures are also connected with each other inside the chloroplast. So these sac-like structures, they are a group, they make a group. This group is known as a granum. A granum is actually, this is the group of the sac-like structure which is known as granum. This one single structure is known as, this is also a double membranous structure. This is known as thylakoid. Thylakoid. This thylakoid is a double membranous structure. It contains different pigments. These pigments which capture light, they are present in the membrane of thylakoid. These are actually photosynthetic pigments. So photosynthetic pigments are present inside the membrane of a thylakoid. So we can say that light reaction of photosynthesis takes place in the membrane of thylakoid, because in the membrane of thylakoid we can find different photosynthetic pigments to capture light, and different types of enzymes are present in the stroma which takes part in dark reaction. So we say that dark reaction of photosynthesis takes place in the stroma. So now let's review our today's topic. That is site of photosynthesis. So as we know that photosynthesis takes place in green parts of the plants, that can be leaf or that can be herbaceous system. So we take a structure of a leaf. Inside of a leaf we can find at the upper side upper epidermis is present. This is the upper epidermis, and at the lower side we can find the lower epidermis. This is the lower epidermis. In lower epidermis we can find these openings. They are the stomata which are responsible for gaseous exchange, and on the upper epidermis sometimes we can find a cuticle layer. This cuticle layer makes the plants to avoid from water loss. So between the upper and lower epidermis we can find two types of parenchymatous cells. The upper cells which are known as palisade parenchyma, and the cells which are present at the lower side, they are known as spongy parenchyma. These two types of cells, they are combinedly known as mesophyll tissue. Meso means between and phill means leaves. It means the cells which are present between the leaf, so they are known as mesophyll tissue or mesophyll cells. These mesophyll cells are responsible for photosynthesis. So this is a structure of a mesophyll cell. Inside of a mesophyll cell we can find a big vacuole, and after that a nucleus is present, and also we can find double membranous structure which is known as a chloroplast. This is actually the structure which is responsible for photosynthesis. So now we take ultra structure of a chloroplast. Chloroplast is a double membranous structure. This ground portion of chloroplast is known as stroma, and inside stroma we can find sac-like structures. These sac-like structures are also connected with each other by a structure. This structure is known as stroma lamellae. Stroma lamellae. So one such structure is known as a thylakoid, and a group of thylakoid is known as a granum. So inside a thylakoid membrane we can find different pigments to capture light. These pigments are present inside the thylakoid membrane, so we can say that light reaction takes place in the thylakoid membrane. And stroma contains different enzymes which are responsible for dark reaction, so we say that dark reactions take place in the stroma.